Good morning, traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday, the 4th of November. All right, this week, quite a lot of data happening and actually quite a volatile week. The highlight for the week is, of course, the US presidential elections. It basically affects the market in its entirety. That is on Wednesday, so look out for that. There's a lot of volatility expected this week as a result of that. Also, on a local front, we have the RBA interest rates decision happens on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Let's see what happens with interest rates. Will there be some kind of a reprieve? But more importantly, what's the message in that statement that will be delivered tomorrow? And the other key decision is on Thursday from England, from the UK. It's interest rates decision which will affect the pound. Okay, so there you have it. That's all that we have this week in terms of data or the major talking points. I've got everything listed here on my side. Just make sure you take note of those. But we'll kick off this morning with the Aussie US dollar, and let's take a look at that right now. Okay, so Aussie, let me just get my marker. We can see that I've highlighted this previously. The support markets acted as support in those two occasions. We are here and we've been waiting to see if we can get a setup that would indicate that the market has come down and is now ready to reverse and bounce on that line, so to speak. At the moment, well, actually, let me take a look. We did have it, give me 1 second. So the two blue candles in between those red ones, so that one and that one, that's a set of inside candles. So if you saw that on Friday, you perhaps would have taken this trade. You would have entered around about there. At the moment, it's a little bit lower than the entry point. So if anybody's seen this late and you would like to take or join in on this trade and it fits your trading criteria, well then the opportunity is there to enter from a little bit lower. And what we're hoping for is that we actually do get that reversal and we start to bounce back. Okay, so for the Aussie US dollar, there is a trade there for, if some of you may be in it already from Friday, but if you're not, you have an opportunity to get into it now if it fits your trading criteria. Okay, so there you have it. That's the Aussie US dollar for this morning. Let's take a look at the Euro USD. Euro USD, similar story, where we've bounced off this level once, twice. However, on this one, we've already taken somewhat of a bounce. So what we're looking for now is just to see if it can come back to the same level again and give us another opportunity to go again. Okay, so for this one, we really just need to wait as the market starts to approach us, or perhaps it may not approach us, it may just drift away, and that's the end of that trade. But I've put a marker in here just in case, because it looks like it may want to come back down. And let's take a look at the candles that occur in this region to see if it does present us with the opportunity to take a long trade on this one. So that's the Euro USD for this morning. Let's move along. Let's have a look at the GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD was similar again, where we're tracking that support level where we see the market had bounced 2 times. However, on this occasion, before we actually got a setup, we broke straight through. So generally, it hasn't happened on this trade, but just so that I can highlight something for you, so we can take something from today's lesson. If that break, generally, if it's a candle that's got no wicks or very, very little wicks on the bottom side, it generally means it's a very strong break. And normally from there, you can trade it down, and the probability that it continues is higher than normal. It hasn't happened on this occasion. I just wanted to highlight it. It did give us a big red candle, but there's a bit of wick there that prevents me from thinking what I've just basically highlighted to you. On this one, we're just going to sit it out. Let's just wait and see, let the market settle until the next opportunity comes our way. US yen. Okay, US yen. We're in the middle of nowhere here. Let me just zoom out a little bit further so I can take a closer look. Okay, so this level here is kind of in no man's land. It's not really relative to anything. The only thing that see, even on this retracement, let me just change colors again. So on this retracement, so the market's come down, let me just change colors. So the market's come down and then bounced back up, and it's bounced back quite a lot. Normally what I would expect it to have done a smaller bounce like this, and then from there we would be looking to continue and trade downwards, but it's actually come back more than 50% of this distance. So look, for right now, I'm just going to leave this one alone because I need it to settle down and to see what may happen. What may happen, from what I've seen in the past, is we can get into this kind of situation where we start to create a small trading region until we eventually break out of that trading region in one direction or the other. But we're still far away from that, so let's just leave it. Let's just see how this one develops. All right, moving along. Brent oil. Okay, the first thing that I notice, and it's the start of volatility. You can see there's a gap here. Okay, that candle and this one, so that would have been from last over the weekend. Bit of gap. The volatility, of course, it's a lot of turmoil at the moment, particularly with the situation in the Middle East, with Lebanon, Israel. So there's a lot of tension there. There's the war, the elections coming up. So a resource like oil and gold, and particularly the US dollar, tend to be a lot more volatile. Not gold, sorry. Gold is where the money moves towards for more safe haven terminology, but it does get a little volatility, and this one is starting to display a little bit of volatility. That chart really does not speak to me, so for this week we're just going to leave it alone. Okay. All right, last one for the week. Let's have a look at gold. You can see gold has been more steady. The candles are small, nice, and they're just steadily moving up. And that's a natural reaction to all the turmoil that's going on globally and all the geopolitical issues. A lot of money, when it's unsure and it gets too risky and too volatile, the money tends to move out of cash paper towards the commodity, the metal, which is gold, and that's what's happened. And as a consequence, it's been just driving up steadily. We are at record highs. We've been looking at this already for months, and we've been just saying we're trying to buy into every dip. Nothing has really changed. Let's just, if you feel that it's too high for you, well then just sit it out and just watch it develop. Okay. That pretty much, having said that, that pretty much wraps up for this week. Just remember the highlights for this particular week. We do have the US elections at the moment. I think it's a Wednesday. So the market's in general is going to be quite volatile. It has the potential to have big swings, so take note of those. Locally, we have interest rates decision tomorrow, and we also have interest rates decision for the pound in the week as well. Take note of those times. Other than that, have a great trading week, and I'll speak to you next week for the weekly market analysis. Bye for now.